Hey everyone, welcome back to another Neos VR showcase video. Today we're going to go over the pH meter which I've created for a science class that's going to happen in Neos next week on the Quest version. So pH is a measure of acidity in an environment, and it usually comes in the form of like liquid or test strips where you dip them into a liquid or like something, and it sort of tells you how acidic or alkali something is. If you don't remember pH from your science class, that's okay. I'll go over it briefly as we get on with this pH meter gadget. So I'm going to put a smooth POV and I'll talk a bit about where we are and how this tool works. So we're in Viridian Islands by Veer. I just picked this environment because it had water in it, to be perfectly honest. I was just looking for somewhere that had water. And here it is. So inside my inventory, there is my public folder, and inside my public folder there is a tools folder, and then inside the tools folder there is a science tools folder, and then there's a pH meter folder. This is a folder because there's components to how this experience works. So the first component here is a pH meter guide reference. So here it says, it's the wrong way around, it says here that red is very acidic and purple is very alkaline. We'll put that to one side, we'll be referring to it. Next to that is a pH zone, which is a sphere, which defines a region that you want to be a particular pH. So I've adjusted this from when I built this tool initially yesterday, so it's a lot easier to use now. Above the sphere, you'll see a number and a slider, and this is where you can specify the pH of the area. So say I wanted this area of the rock to be, I should go for the water. I wanted this area of the water here, I wanted that to be, let's say a little bit alkali, let's say 9. Then I can make it a little bit bigger here, and I can go ahead and hit done, and that will set that sphere as invisible and having a pH of 9 there. So then I'm going to need the pH meter tool itself. It's a regular tooltip. That's all I need from the inventory. So you can see here that on the tip of it, it's got a color indicator, which will show the color of the pH area that you've entered. So let me equip it. Like a normal tool, and I'm going to go ahead and enter fly mode here, and I'm going to dip my pH meter tool into the water here, and you'll see that it's gone this teal color, and I can then take this over to this meter, and we can see that it lines up perfectly with 9 on the pH meter. And if I also push trigger on this tip here, you'll see that the pH measurement appears here. There is a little bit of variance added to the pH zone that's defined within the tool, so that if you take subsequent readings of the same area, it will come out to within a sort of couple of units of the actual measurement that you put the zone as, but just a little bit of variance to make it not be exactly 9 all the time, just that there's, a little bit of surprise, So that was an alkaline area. I'm going to go ahead and go over to the lamppost, because over on the lamppost I specified another area. So we'll tip into the lamppost area. Is it this lamppost? I actually don't know which lamppost it is. Oh, it's this one over here. So this lamppost I specified as a red alkali area. You can see this is very acidic. This is 1. So again here I can check this and I can see it's 1. And I can also take the tooltip up to my guide here, and I can see, look, 1, very acidic. And that's all there is to it, really. You can set up any sort of environment with these pH zones and with this guide here, and students can come around and, examine and take pH readings from around the area. You might want to set up and stage things where, there might be acidity involved. For example, in an oceanic environment, if there's a lot of sort of trash or plastic waste, or a boat's been dumping waste in the ocean, then anywhere around that waste is going to be more acidic. If there's been sort of a chemical spill, or you're near a sort of weird oil rig or something out at sea, there might be alkaline or again acidity there. So it allows you to sort of define areas around here and really sort of set the scene here. I hope this makes sense. Let me know if you'd like to know how the tool works. I kind of built it in sort of an hour. I've improved it in this world today because I was frustrated using it in setting up the lamppost area over there. I think there's another zone, but unfortunately I can't find it right now. You can find them in the inspector. You can just open up the inspector and you'll see pH zone here. So looks like I've got a 10, which is quite alkali over here. So if I go ahead and dip these tools in, you'll see that they've turned blue, which is alkali. Let's go over to... That's a really big zone. That's the acid zone that I specified. Let's see, 7. I made this area over here, I made 7. 7 is basically pure drinking water, should be around 7. So I can dip this in here and you'll see it's gone green. And we can take that back and we can equip this and compare it to the green one again. So there you go. That's how to find them in the inspector as well. If you like more details about how this works, or you're interested in how I built it, I can show you. I can do a commentary video on how I built it. But that's all there is to it. This will be used in a science lesson next week, I believe. I will see you next time.